Again, we're dealing with the problem of polysemy, and now we must discuss the semantic structure of a polysemantic or polysemic word. When analyzing the semantic structure of a polysemantic or polysemic word, it is necessary to distinguish between two levels of analysis. On the first level, the semantic structure of a word is treated as a system of meanings. For example, the semantic structure of the noun fire could be roughly presented by the following list. The first meaning of the word fire is flame. The second meaning of the word fire is an instance of destructive burning, for example, a forest fire. The third meaning of the word fire is burning material in a stove, fireplace, etc. For example, there is a fire in the next room. The fourth meaning is the shouting of guns, for example, to open fire, to cease fire. The fifth meaning is strong feeling, passion, for example, a speech full of fire, or a speech lacking fire. This list suggests that the first meaning holds a kind of dominance over the rest of other meanings, conveying the concept in the most general way, whereas the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth meanings are associated with special circumstances, aspects, and instances of the same phenomena. The first meaning of the word is generally referred to as a main meaning. Why? Because it presents the center of the semantic structure of the word, holding it together. It is mainly through the first meaning that other meanings, so the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth meanings are associated and can be associated with one another. Some of them exclusively through the first meaning. Yes, for example, the fourth and the fifth meanings. However, we can have different cases. And here we present the semantic structure of a word bar as to illustrate the point. It would hardly be possible to establish any logical associations between some of the meanings of the noun bar through the main meaning of this word. And now let us deal with different meanings of the word bar. So, the first meaning of the word bar is any kind of barrier to prevent people from passing. The second meaning is a profession of barrister, lawyer, for example, to go to the bar. And the third meaning is a counter or room where drinks are served in a public house or a hotel. For example, they went to the bar for a drink. As you can see, the second and the third meanings have no logical links with one another, whereas each separately is easily associated with the first meaning of the word. So, the second meaning through the traditional barrier dividing a courtroom into two parts, and we know that courtrooms are divided into two parts, yes? And the third meaning through the counter serving as a kind of barrier between the customers of a pub and the barman. Yet, it is not in every polysemantic word that such a center can be found. Some semantic structures are arranged on a different principle. In the following list of meanings of the adjective dull, one can hardly hope to find a generalized meaning covering and holding together the rest of the semantic structure. And now let us try to discuss this word, the adjective dull. So it means uninteresting, monotonous, boring, for example, a dull book or a dull film. Slow in understanding, stupid, for example, a dull student. Not clear or bright, for example, dull weather, a dull day, a dull color. Not loud or distinct, for example, a dull sound. Not sharp, for example, a dull knife. Not active, for example, trade is dull, seeing badly, for example, dull eyes, it is archaic. Hearing badly, for example, dull ears, it is also archaic. One distinctly feels that there is something that all these seemingly miscellaneous meanings have in common, and that is the implication of deficiency, be it color, width, interest, sharpness, etc. The implication of insufficient quality, of something lacking, can be clearly distinguished in each separate meaning. In fact, each meaning definition in the given list can be subject to a transformational operation to prove the point. Now let us deal with this transformational operation. So, uninteresting is deficient in interest or excitement. Stupid, deficient in intellect. Not bright, deficient in light or color. Not loud, deficient in sound. Not sharp, deficient in sharpness. Not active, deficient in activity. Seeing badly, deficient in eyesight. Hearing badly, deficient in hearing. So the transformed scheme of the semantic structure of the adjective dull clearly shows that the center holding together the complex semantic structure of this word is not one of the meanings, but a certain component that can be easily singled out within each separate meaning. This brings us to the second level of analysis of the semantic structure of a word. The transformational operation with the meaning definitions of the adjective dull reveals something very significant. The semantic structure of the word is divisible, as it were, not only at the level of different meanings, but also at a deeper level. Each separate meaning seems to be subject to structural analysis, in which it may be represented as sets of semantic components. This is called the componential analysis, which is one of the modern methods of semantic research. In terms of componential analysis, the meaning of a word is defined as a set of elements of meaning which are not part of the vocabulary of the language itself, but rather theoretical elements postulated in order to describe the semantic relations between the lexical elements of a given language. The scheme of the semantic structure of dull shows that the semantic structure of a word is not a mere system of meanings, for each separate meaning is subject to further subdivision and possesses an inner structure of its own. Therefore, the semantic structure of a word should be investigated at both these levels of different meanings and of semantic components within each separate meaning. For a monosemantic word, by a monosemantic word we mean a word with one meaning. The first level is naturally excluded.